49er defense ranked 24th last season in total yards. Not great, but it's a far cry from dead last, which was the team's reality before Robert Saleh took over. Here's Dennis again.
Thank you, Vern. You know, Robert Saleh did not begin his professional life as a football coach. It was rather a life-changing event that led him to be the 49er defensive coordinator.
All right, here we go. We're all together.
Robert Saleh wasn't supposed to be here, or perhaps he wasn't supposed to be here. A 22-year-old corporate lender living close to home and making good money. Outside, he looked the part, but inside, Robert was yearning for football.
It always stewed, you know, like my dad wishes he pursued coaching before he ended up chasing a little bit of money. And I went through my college career, and when I realized that I wasn't going to be a football player at the next level, I just felt like I wanted to stay with it and start coaching, and I didn't initially know how to go about it. And when I got to, back home, you know, all the events of 9/11 and all that stuff and some epiphanies, I guess you could say, it just kept brewing and brewing until I just couldn't take it anymore.
Another plane just hit. Right, oh my God, another plane has just hit. It hit another building.
Your brother was in that second tower.
Correct.
On 9/11.
Yep.
What happened there that made you decide that, you know, passion, following your passion, maybe life is limited, as opposed to following the track that you were on?
You know, through traumatic experience, you always, once it passes, you always have a time to reflect. And for a good portion of the day, I'd say about 8-9 hours, we didn't know whether or not he was alive. And once the event finished, you know, you got a chance that he's home, he's safe, and you get a chance to reflect it. You just look at, like, what if he didn't come back? And here's my brother, who's only a couple years older than I am, and was he actually pursuing the job that he loves and what he wants to do? Or was he just being satisfied with chasing money? And I kind of looked at myself and whether or not I was actually doing what I wanted to do. And I wasn't. Just the missing of football for me to have that, to wake up one morning and just, I'm literally break, you know when you were a young little kid and your mama hit you so bad you had the hiccups? That was kind of the crying I was having, man. It was a really rough morning for me, and I made a few phone calls and off it went.
The tragedy became an epiphany for Robert, who turned in his three-piece suit for a pair of sweats and hit the road. It would be a long road.
We were, you know, just scrounging for some food and trying to do everything we could to make ends meet. So, God, I think the first, I want to say 1, 2, 3, 4 seasons, I was making about $600 to $900 a month.
A Michigan State assistant, Central Michigan, Georgia, and then a gig with the Houston Texans.
I got to the Houston Texans and I got $5 an hour, and I thought I hit the bonanza. I was like, jackpot.
But $5 an hour, you were working 800 hours a week.
Yeah, I was getting 100 hours a week, and I was getting double, but it came out to the equivalent of like $25,000 a year is what the pace was. And I swear to you, I thought I was the richest kid in the world. You know, I had a job I loved, and making whatever money I was making, I couldn't have been happier.
After 3 years in Houston, Robert landed in Seattle as defensive quality control coach before becoming the Jaguars linebacker coach in 2014. Fast forward to 2017, when Kyle Shanahan was turned down by Gus Bradley and Vic Fangio, Saleh sensed an opportunity. He
missed out on Vic, he missed out on Gus, and I was like, why don't you just look at me as coordinator? Finally, he just kind of gave me the, listen, I'll promise you an interview, but you got to commit to me as linebackers coach. And I made my second gamble in life, I guess you could say, and I committed. I left Gus and I committed to Kyle as linebackers coach. He lived up to his word, gave me the interview, and the rest is history.
Today, Saleh makes more than $5 an hour, and top ramen meals are a thing of the past. But he knows his next dinner is only as good as the results his defense can produce.
As coaches and players, we're never comfortable. Comfort leads to complacency, complacency leads to failure.
And let's do it again. Do it again. Hey, don't forget your arm over. It's your most violent move, your arm over.
Get better every day, focus, be deliberate in how you approach your game, whether you're studying, taking care of your body, practice, walk through. Everything's got to be very deliberate with the full intent that you're trying to get better.
Saleh harbors no illusion about his profession, but he is here, living his dream. And as for that business suit,
if I needed a corporate loan, can I still call on you?
Yeah, I've got a few connections.
Robert, thanks a lot.
No, thank you.
Yeah, you'd be hard-pressed to find a coach that talks as passionately about football as Robert Saleh. But even he knows it's time to turn the passion into results. That's it right now from Lucas Oil Stadium. Vern, back to you.